War of the Worlds. Aliens have come to Earth. For us.
Scene 1. The Road to Leatherhead, 1894.
Henry and Clara sit in a horse-drawn cart as it rattles down the dirt road. Behind them plumes of smoke trench into the air.
The entire world is on fire.
If we can get to Leatherhead, we will be safe. We must keep hope.
Do you really have to return home to Mayberry? We barely got out alive.
I must go back to help the fight.
It's too dangerous. I couldn't bear to lose you.
I will return, Clara, I promise.
Scene 2. Mayberry, the day before. It is a tranquil night in the village of Mayberry. Henry and Clara are out for an evening stroll.
What they don't know, what no one knows, is the Earth is being watched. As humans go about their lives, powerful beings from another planet are looking down.
They observe Earth's verdant lands and sparkling blue seas with great envy.
What is that hissing sound?
Look!
A flaming object blazes through the sky.
It must be a meteor.
The object crashes in the distance. Henry and Clara walk towards the crash. After a mile or so, they come to a massive smoldering pit in the middle of a field.
Ogilvy, an astronomer, stares down into it.
Hi there, Adobe. Looks like you found the meteor.
I don't think it's a meteor. It's in a cylindrical shape.
How odd. It must be 90 feet around.
I believe it is from another planet. A few nights ago, I was looking through my telescope and saw a red flash moving from Mars toward Earth at great speed.
Really? That's incredible.
More people arrive.
What is that thing?
Maybe from Mars.
What nonsense.
A scratching sound comes from the cylinder. The crowd freezes. A chunk of crust falls off one end.
This is no meteor.
The end of the cylinder unscrews from the inside and falls to the ground with a clang.
Something is coming out.
They look like black snakes.
Those aren't snakes. Those are tentacles.
A gray mass about the size of a bear rises from the cylinder. It has two dark eyes and its skin glistens like wet leather.
Look how the creature's body heaves as it tries to breathe.
It must not be accustomed to our atmosphere
The alien topples over and falls into the pit.
or our gravity.
Another creature appears at the cylinder's opening. Saliva drips from its lipless mouth.
They're monsters. Run!
Everyone begins to flee.
Don't be afraid. How can they harm us when they can barely move?
Henry and Clara climb Mayberry Hill, which overlooks the field. They have a good view of the pit.
Did you see its horrible eyes?
I didn't yet. Actual creatures from Mars, I have a fear of
Thin
battleground
black
and
tentacles whip up from the pit. A sound of hammering echoes through the field.
The creatures seem to be building something.
Henry and Clara watch Ogilvy and a group of other scientists approach the pit. They wave a white flag. A hump shape rises slowly.
Then, a blinding flash of light. Flames shoot at the men. They fall to the ground.
No!
The flames spread across the field and into the town, igniting bushes, trees, and houses. The ground smokes and crackles. Scene 3. Clara and Henry's house, the next morning.
Clara and Henry stand dazed in front of their house. A neighbor walks by.
What's the trouble? You two look like you've seen a ghost.
Not a ghost. Martians.
Oh silly. I've heard. It all seems so silly.
They shoot fire.
Ridiculous.
The creatures burned everything in their path. Have you ever heard of such a horrible weapon?
No, but how much damage can they do if they're stuck in a hole?
The milkman comes by.
What's the latest news?
Another cylinder fell near the woods.
Clara shudders.
No need to worry. Our troops got them surrounded. Those brainless blobs are no match for us.
Pop, pop, pop.
See, that's our boys firing their guns.
The battle has begun.
Thousands of our men against a couple of helpless creatures.
It hardly seems like a fair fight.
A violent crash shakes the ground.
I don't think we should stay here.
Where can we go?
To my cousin in Leatherhead, don't pack our valuables. I will borrow a horse and cart.
We must warn the neighbors.
The tops of nearby trees burst into flames.
There's no time. We need to go now.
Scene 4. The road away from Leatherhead, that evening. Henry takes the horse-drawn cart back toward Mayberry. He has left Clara in Leatherhead.
The sky in the distance glows orange.
Maybe I should have stayed with Clara.
A strange silhouette approaches. A huge metal tripod, taller than the houses, strides down the road.
On its top is a hood that twists to and fro, shooting fire at anything that moves. Henry dives into the bushes. The horse gallops down the road, dragging the cart behind.
A ray of fire shoots out from the tripod. The cart explodes. Henry stays hidden as the machine passes by.
A soldier stumbles by. Henry steps forward.
Sure, what happened?
We're about to fire upon a cylinder. My horse stumbled threw me into a hole. I heard an explosion, and everything around me was burnt to a crisp.
What horror? How did you survive?
I stayed there, hidden as other troops rushed toward the pit. I watched as they were all swept out of existence.
I am sorry for you.
Be sorry for us all. We got reports that the Martians invade London, that the city will soon fall.
What was the tripod I saw?
An indestructible fighting machine. The Martians climb inside and roam anywhere they want.
And Mayberry, what of Mayberry?
Mayberry burns, as does, I fear, the world. We are no longer masters of our own planet.
Scene 5. On the road. Henry turns back to Leatherhead. He passes troops, digging trenches and getting into firing position.
Those guns won't stop the Martians. It's like shooting arrows at lightning.
In the next town, people casually pack their things. Men and women look sharper in their pressed suits and dresses. Laughing children run around Ibid, the carts and carriages.
Don't you know what's over there?
Henry points in the direction of Mayberry.
Death. Death is coming.
A woman looks at him with pity.
Poor man, he's gone mad.
The army's got things under control. We just need to get out of their way so they can do their job.
You aren't listening. You all need to go. Now. Leave your belongings and run for your lives.
The people ignore Henry, so he continues on. Henry sees a man sitting in the dirt weeping.
This is the end of us.
Keep your head, good man. There's still hope.
Hope? The Martians are invulnerable.
It might seem like that, but I know we'll find a way. There are millions of us. We can beat them.
Pop, pop, pop. More gunfire. Henry sees the tripods in the distance. Then everything goes eerily quiet.
What's happening?
An inky black cloud spreads over the valley.
Poison gas! Run!
The men scramble to get away.
They run to the next village, where they break into an empty house and hide.
It's no use. We're doomed.
There is a blinding flash of green light, followed by a massive thud.
Glass shatters, pieces of ceiling run down.
Are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
Joe gets up, cracking the glass on the floor.
Shh! Quiet, the Martians may be near.
The men remain still until dawn. Light filters in through a hole in the wall. Henry puts his eye up to it.
Another cylinder is strapped right next to this house. A Martian is standing guard. And what's that? A metal cage full of
What? Full of what?
people there, 20 people, and God save us, the Martians are taking blood from the humans and injecting it into their veins. They're feeding on us.
Joe drops his head into his hands, moaning.
Scene 6. Same house. 1 week later. Joe and Henry, now haggard and dirty, are still hiding. Small pile of food sits between them. Henry peers through the hole.
The ground is covered in a strange red weed. It's like they are trying to turn Earth into Mars.
Who cares? We're going to starve here.
Don't give up. We have a chance of surviving if we stay in this house until the Martians move on.
What is the point of surviving? What kind of world will be left?
I must survive to get back to my Clara.
Suddenly, Joe prances on the food. He shoves a fistful of bread into his mouth.
We agreed to ration that food.
I'm hungry.
We have to be smart so we can win this war.
This isn't a war, any more than there's war between man and ants.
Keep your voice down.
Joe throws a stale bread on the floor.
Enough! I've had enough!
Hush, they'll hear us.
Enough!
Joe runs toward the door.
Just let it be over.
Henry tries, but fails to stop Joe from leaving.
Henry watches through the hole in the wall as Joe is swept up into one of the
Scene
cages.
7. The same house. 2 days later.
Henry awakens from a deep sleep. All is silent.
He crawls to the hole in the wall.
I see the tripods, but why aren't they moving?
Henry climbs out, squinting in the light of day.
Everything as far as he can see is overgrown with red weeds, and scattered among the weeds are Martians, dead.
Can it be that the torment is over?
Dazed, Henry makes his way to Leatherhead. He arrives to find the village obliterated.
Am I the last man on Earth?
Henry slowly walks back to Mayberry, passing blackened skeletons of buildings. But when he arrives at his house, he finds it still standing. He staggers inside, passing from room to room, touching furniture, pictures, and curtains.
Suddenly, he hears voices outside.
No one is here. I'm so sorry, Clara.
Henry runs out the door, and there stands Clara, alive and well.
Oh, Henry, everyone said you were dead, but I knew. I just knew.
They collapse into each other's arms.
Martians are all dead. How can it be?
Some kind of human disease killed them. They had no defense against our germs.
The three humans stand in silence, stunned, as the sky glows orange from the setting sun.